I love it. I read it again. It's so important. Those who follow the rules of varnasrama-dharma, you Vaidhi Bhaktis, listen to this out there if you ever are open to watching this video in some generation. Hopefully this one. Those who follow the rules of varnasrama-dharma worship Lord Vishnu. Okay? That's it. That ain't good enough, man. Even though that's God, still He's in charge of the mode of goodness and rules and regulations. If Jarasandha wasn't good enough for him, he was still adverse to Krishna. Okay? And by the way, I was thinking about this. Don't think if you come in here that it's always just going to be easy going here. See? Because Jarasandha, when he got in contact with Krishna, and that happens when you get in contact with Krishna's devotees or Lord Gaura's devotees, who have a relationship with Radha and Krishna, don't think that it's just going to be a smooth ride for a while. Because it's going to drive up the stuff that Jarasandha had. It drives up his demoniac nature. He was a good person. He was a good devotee of Lord Vishnu, man. Pious king. You know, pious king, everything, man. Gave charity to the Brahmins, followed the rules, regulations very strictly, everything. Honest, never lied. See? But contact with Krishna, and that now practically is contact with Krishna's devotees, drove up his demoniac stuff. That's adverse to the true form of God, which is natural. The mode of goodness is also competitive with the mode of pure goodness. You became competition. He became jealous, envious, and all that. See, that can come up in the heart. Okay? And that's part of the purification, and it only will happen, I mean, it can happen other ways, but you'll only get through it by being with the devotees, and that aversion comes up sometimes. So don't think it's over. You know, it starts to rise to the surface by association with devotees. You know, they pull it up, and so Krishna's rising up, but the crap is on top of that. It's been on top. Now it's coming out. You know, it's dislodging and coming into consciousness. Okay, from the churning of Hari Katha. You know, comes up, and so the crap is there. See, so don't grab onto the crap. Just keep hearing and chanting. And the more you don't identify with it, just if you can handle your process, you know it seems so real, man. All the crapoling, why you don't like with the devotee, you don't like the preaching, are you challenging and all this? Then I'm going away. People do that. I'm going away because you're not. This is not right. Okay. So we got to see. You know, if you're honest, you got to look around. Well, why aren't they feeling this? The ones who are getting through. Sometimes they get through, and then stuff comes up, and they got to deal with it too. Kind of like Johan was talking about a little bit. Yeah. It just is when it comes to the territory. You just don't make it any big deal. Just move through it. Whatever process, I've seen the same thing happen in other processes. The only difference is, I think you'll get through it better here. Because the truth is so conclusive and clear. The others are all, a lot of teams, you know, even the Mayavadi path starts to bring this stuff up. But I don't think people get through it as well as here. See? Muji, there's stuff doing that going up over there. I was analyzing, look, hey man, stuff going up there. There's this other counselor, one of my friends over here in Goa, is part, and she said really likes his stuff because he's got some devotional stuff in there. But it's also Mayavadi mixed in there, so you know, and they always come up to the same. They do a therapeutic thing, and it costs you a bunch of money to get through it, and they're just doing what we're doing. That's all. They just bring it up, and then providence of, you know, the bhakti just dissipates it out, you know, and then there's the bhakti comes and fills in all that space. Okay? The purity fills that space, and now you, even here, you're not adverse to God like most of the population. Some level are adverse to the real form of God. Why do you think he doesn't appear here? Why would God not so easily appear in this world. Huh? Don't you think, wouldn't that be where you think, well, come on, why don't you come here and save us? Well, he does in increments, because you can't, you got all this contamination sitting on top of the, of him, blocking our relationship from him, from that source, has to gradually be removed. Otherwise people go bonkers, nuts. Can't really, they just, so that's where the various paths and everything, and then this culminates in, who's teaching devotion to God as the supreme goal of life? See? Some people just teach it in name only. They don't have it, but they respect that, and they say, yeah, that's the goal, that's where we're going. See? But you find a teacher that actually is engaged in this relationship of devotion to Krishna. Boy, they're going to point it out pretty clear, huh? You're going to get there straight away. See? They're a more experienced devotee. Otherwise, it's just you're following people that are teaching, at best, devotion to Krishna in name only. Still, they don't have the Bhakti awakened yet. Okay? That's the problem. You get a little bit twisted, because you have to speculate. You can't know. You got to be right in there, man, relishing this stuff. Mary said, I can testify that purification doesn't feel good while my crap is coming out. Exactly. It's a very, because it's in there, it's always been in there. It gets agitated in association with those who carry the divine current and start to bring it out. Okay? They call it, it's like an exorcism. You notice the Christians, where did you ever hear of exorcism? People just carried the ghosts. People, they have all that stuff is inside them, and then it starts to come out in association with those who have that divine presence coming in the world. Yeah. So anyway, it comes with the territory. Just expect, in construction they say expect the delay. Well, in this construction of the house of God, expect these things that's going to come up. You're going to sometimes challenge this guy here. And, what are you doing? Why are you doing it like my way? You should do it like my way, and the way I think and believe, and all that,